Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. Today we are celebrating Hardik Pandya, the transformation of Hardik Pandya from a man who was suspended for his remarks on Coffee with Karan and sent back home from Australia to becoming world's best T20 all-rounder. That's right, Hardik Pandya's comeback this season has been exceptional. The rise started with IPL 2022. Hardik was made the captain of Gujarat Titans. Even as people question his leadership qualities, he ignored all the outside noise and led the team to their first IPL title in the debut season. He promoted himself up the order, batted at top, in the middle and finished games for them. Similarly, he bowled in different phases of the game and was extremely successful in whatever he did. That's not all. His captaincy stood out as he chose to buck the trend by winning the toss, batting first when others were looking to chase. He used his bowlers very well throughout the tournament. There was a sense of calm that had taken over him. He was no more the person who would show extreme emotions or indulge in anything that could get him in trouble. A Dhoni-like zen that took over. From the IPL, he's only grown in stature to the extent that today many believe he should be India's limited overs captain after Rohit Sharma. So what has changed in Hardik Pandya? We try to explore Hardik Pandya 2.0. Hello and a very warm welcome. I am joined here today by Santosh Suri, who is joining us live from Dubai. While we all watched it on our television screens and our laptops, phones, Santosh Suri watched the drama unfold in front of his eyes. Santosh, sir, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, we'll get into the details of what has changed in Hardik Pandya, but how was that experience? India versus Pakistan, sold out stadium, atmosphere we could see was brilliant, and then the match went right down to the wire.
Yeah, it was a perfect game that both the fans could have expected, because over the last few years we have seen either one team or the other winning, one-handedly or one-sidedly, like the last 10 wicket win. So that doesn't provide the thrill that generally is associated with India-Pakistan match. We all remember how Javed Miandad hit that famous six just a couple of kilometers from where I am right now. And that is still ingrained in the mind of the people. So they want to see such matches rather than, dull one-sided where result is predicted, and by 16th, 17th over, if it's a one-sided match, the spectators of one side start moving out of the stadium. But yesterday, not a single soul moved out till the final, run was hit, and it was great to see a six being hit by a person whom we are going to, discuss. And indeed, we have seen what a transformation Hardik Pandya has gone. Absolutely, like, chalk and cheese it has become. From chalk, it has become cheese. And I think what has happened is that he has got a very strong support at home also and in the team also. See, he would be something like, Vinod Kambli was when he made his debut in early 90s. And that time Kambli didn't have any support either from home or from, of course, you didn't have such a huge support staff with psychologists and this and that accompanied the team. So his career went awry. But now Hardik, after that incident that you said that on television, he made that comment and he was banned. And from there, his family came, especially his wife and brother and parents, to, told him to focus on cricket and cut out all the outside noise and not to be, flamboyant like Kamli was trying to be, and focus solely on his game and not on the extra that glamour and distractions that come with your stature as a player or as an India player. So that focus and I think turning point was that the Gujarat franchise.
In fact, let me put the numbers out, Santosh sir, and then we can discuss that, because IPL, numbers before IPL, there's a complete change in his numbers before IPL and after IPL, and those numbers are going to come up on your screens, and then we can talk about what really changed there for Hardik Pandya. Take a look at those numbers. Not only has he improved when it comes to his batting, Hardik Pandya in T20 internationals before IPL, he'd played 54 matches. He'd scored 533 runs, batting average of 20.48. After IPL, there you have it. Look at those numbers. After IPL, 14 matches that he's played, 314 runs. And look at the average. It has improved to 34.8. And if you look at the bowling as well, the average improving to 24. Economy is almost the same, but the strike rate also has come down to 17, which means he's taking wickets quicker than ever. So not only is he scoring runs, he's scoring them up and down the order, wherever you play him. And on top of that, he is giving you overs in different phases of the game. You are looking at, what can I say, the most precious thing one needs right now in T20 format, and he's giving you that. Isn't that so?
Absolutely. When he was named the captain of the Gujarat team, I was very, very skeptical about whether he'll handle the pressure or he'll, live up to the reputation. And maybe his game, as it was suffering that time. His fitness was suffering. But amazing it is what responsibility, added responsibility can do to a person, that he is a perfect example of that. And indeed, I should congratulate the franchise for, having so much of faith in him and knowing that this is a person, despite his shortcomings, he will be able to deliver. And, how IPL is a cutthroat competition, and just one step left or right and you are, taken apart by the franchise also, and by the media and on social media. But he really shut out everything, took the lead. He took the bowling. He was bowling up front. He was batting. He went up at number 4 and he batted with so much confidence. Of course, I saw him in first 3-4 matches where he was a bit, rattled when there was some problem on the field, somebody dropping catch, or he was run out in a mix-up. So there he showed his emotion. But I think the team management of the franchise told him that, see, you have to remain cool. So probably they told him that you have to be the next Mr. Cool. So he has taken that, lesson from them, and amazing it is, amazing. I wish Vinod Kambli had such a backup, and his career would have been really, really different. So hopefully
yeah, absolutely, because a lot could have gotten wrong from there. After being suspended, he's come back. Of course, he needed support that time. And he's spoken himself about how MS Dhoni, who he considers his mentor, his guide, he said he was the one. He kept telling me, he understood me, he knew what I wanted, he knew what needed to be done when it came to my temperament, and he understood me, and that's the reason why I'm where I am. But the other thing is also, we're going to put that up on our screens, is how this has come a full circle of sorts, because this is where he was stretchered out from this very stadium in 2018, and those visuals were heartbreaking. He had a lower back pain, and those are going to come up on your screens right now. But this is where, and he's talked about that in this interview. Listen in.
तो मैं बड़ा शॉट मारने को देखूंगा, और जैसे हम दोनों का पार्टनरशिप हुआ वो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट था। मुझे ये बताओ कि लास्ट टाइम 2018 में इधर जो एशिया कप था, तब वो बैक का वो इश्यू हुआ था, तो वो वहाँ से लेके ये एशिया कप और वो ही सेम पाकिस्तान की टीम की जर्नी जरा बताइए।
एक्चुअली मुझे सब याद आ रहा था। मैं यहाँ से स्ट्रेचर में बाहर गया था और वही ड्रेसिंग रूम था, और एक सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट फील होता है, क्योंकि जो चीजें हुई है, जैसे चीजें हुई, उसके बाद इस तरीके से आज मौका मिला। सो वो जर्नी बहुत सुंदर है।
और वो जो लास्ट ओवर में आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था?
7 रन मुझे कुछ ज्यादा बड़े लग नहीं रहे थे, क्योंकि लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर है और वो 5 फील्डर का था, उससे मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा था, क्योंकि अगर वो 5 फील्डर का 10 फील्डर होते या 10 फील्डर बाहर होते तो मेरे को तो मारना ही था।
मैं यही सोच रहा था कि स्पिनर्स को मैं जितना हो सके उतना चांस लूं, जितने भी बॉल खेलूंगा तो मैं बड़ा शॉट मारने को देखूंगा, और जैसे हम दोनों का पार्टनरशिप हुआ वो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट था। मुझे ये बताओ कि लास्ट टाइम 2018 में इधर जो एशिया कप था, तब वो बैक का वो इश्यू हुआ था, तो वो वहाँ से लेके ये एशिया कप और वो ही सेम पाकिस्तान की टीम की जर्नी जरा बताइए।
एक्चुअली मुझे सब याद आ रहा था। मैं यहाँ से स्ट्रेचर में बाहर गया था और वही ड्रेसिंग रूम था, और एक सेंस ऑफ अचीवमेंट फील होता है क्योंकि जो चीजें हुई है.
So there you have it. That is Hardik Pandya, and the two key players who turned the game around. The two players who were so good in that chase, who were really instrumental in that win for India. But that's again the thing that stands out. Where there are two things for me in this interview. One, him talking about what this meant to him, Santosh sir, given that in 2018, and we saw that visual of him being stretchered out. Extremely heartbreaking, but for him to come out and put in this kind of an all-round match-winning effort. The other thing being the supreme confidence that he has in himself, and it's not boastful confidence, which now I see. It's not him saying I can do this with that. He just completely believes in his abilities, and that's what he was telling Ravindra Jadeja as well. That I kind of knew that I could do it, even if there were more runs. I wasn't worried. The left-arm spinner, I really wasn't bothered. That to me is a sign of someone who believes in his ability, and also what these days IPL's done to you. Every target is gettable.
Absolutely. First of all, I'll just say that it was a pleasure listening to two Gujaratis talking in Hindi. મજા આવી ગઈ એમાં તો મને ગુજરાતીમાં બોલ્યો તો બહુ સારું હતું. Anyhow, the thing is that I was here in 2018 during the Asia Cup, and I saw that on the ground itself. I myself was on the ground, and when I saw him going down, oh my God, I said it's the end of his career. But to rise like a phoenix from that stage, to come on the same ground and perform like this with both bat and ball, I was always thinking that he may never recover well enough to bowl at the same intensity and same pace. But I don't know, today's medical science and all that has improved so much that things have they can bring you back to almost normal despite all the handicaps and all the injuries. So that has been one factor, that BCCI has a very strong medical support system, and you go to the NCA in Bangalore and you recuperate that and you come back to normal. We have seen so many players who are injured and are rehabilitating there and coming back very strong. So that has been the case of Hardik Pandya. And of course, after his stint in IPL, he can achieve anything. And of course, we knew that when the 18th over started, one fielder had to come in because Pakistan were slow on over it. And we knew that opening had been created for Indian players. The first ball, Jadeja hit 4 and of the left arm spinner, and it was exactly the place from where that extra fielder was brought into the circle because of the slow over it penalty. And that opportunity opened out. But I knew, like Hardik said, that even if 10 people were on the boundary, he was going to hit a 6. Yeah, and in the final over, the first ball of the final over, I shouted in press box that 6, but unfortunately, it didn't go for 6. Jadeja lost his wicket, but anyhow, the DK had to take a single and give strike to, Hardik Pandya to finish off the match. There was no doubt in my mind that Hardik will do job. I have seen him over the years, finishing off the match. Like in Bristol, we needed around 40 odd runs in say 2.5 overs, and spectators and in the press box, they were saying that nahi, ye match khatam ho gaya, ab kuch nahi hoga. But I said, don't underestimate till Hardik Pandya is there. And sure enough, he hit 4 sixes in that small ground at Bristol and won India that ODI match. So he has the ability and the confidence now. And, like Shastri has said time and again, that he is the vital cog in our batting of our team. And he gives that perfect balance to the Indian team. Yeah. If you take him out, then you don't know whether you have to play one extra batsman or an extra bowler. So that way, like Kapil Paji was there, that time you had a guy who could, turn the match with bat and or ball anyway, or his leadership also. So same way, I think he has the ability to go that way, Kapil Paji way. But of course, we have to take one step at a time and don't start ranking him as the next Kapil Paji till he really performs and comes to that level.
Absolutely. Also wrap him in cotton wool, because you don't want any injuries to Hardik Pandya, because we know what a fit Hardik Pandya can do and the difference that it makes, when he bowls and bowls like that. He was there in the T20 World Cup last year, But it was a completely different Hardik Pandya to the one that we are seeing now. And that now takes me to the great Wasim Akram also agreeing that Hardik Pandya, in fact, right now is the best in the world in T20 internationals. This is what Wasim Akram said, and I quote, he says, in my opinion, he's the best all-rounder in world cricket right now. The way he's batting, he's better than Andre Russell, better than all our all-rounders we have. He says he's consistent, he is an electrifying fielder, he's one of the top cricketers in the world, and rightfully so, given how well he's done. Let's just take a look at his year, 2022, in a nutshell, and we can take this conversation further because we've spoken about before IPL, after IPL. I'll also put the IPL numbers, but first 2022, 5 T20 internationals versus South Africa at home, where he bowled just 6 overs. Even there, Santosh sir, I remember watching one of the games in Delhi and I said, you know what, I don't know what's going to happen. But 5 overs, 61 runs, went for a lot of runs, didn't get any wickets. So you're wondering, okay, he's bowling, IPL he bowled well, but in this series, right after the IPL, you know, yeah, well, not as impressive. But from there on, take a look, 9 T20 internationals away in Ireland, England, West Indies, and then, of course, yesterday's match, 27 overs, 203 runs, economy of 7.51, 11 wickets, strike rate of 14.7, average 18.45. This includes that 4 for 33 versus England, where again he got a man of the match award. He was brilliant with the bat and ball. Then 2 miserly 4-over spells in West Indies. One gave away 19 runs, took 1 wicket, one was 22, and then there is 3 for 25 that you've been talking about versus Pakistan in Asia Cup. So even if in T20 is such an unpredictable format, especially for the bowlers, it can be, you know, one bad over and your figures just go all over the place. Despite that, to have these figures, you know, as an all-rounder, as somebody who wasn't meant to be one of your top bowlers, to take that charge, to be able to do this, to be able to take 4 for 33 against England, and then what he did against Pakistan last night. How do you explain this? Because what I'm seeing is now he's not worried about injury. The way he's bowling, a bowler who bowls like that cannot be worried about injury. He is really tilting his back. He is quick. We saw that, and I'm sure Mohammad Rizwan felt that yesterday. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, like you said that when he came back to international cricket and against South Africa, he was there. He was bowled hardly a few overs.
Correct.
That time he was a bit, you know, apprehensive that he may recur that injury or something. But once he got into the rhythm and started bowling, then there was no looking back for him. I think it was more in the mind, you know, like you have Virat Kohli or Rahul. It's more in the mind. So he has overcome that barrier after playing in the IPL and against South Africa. Now he is very, very certain of his fitness as a fast bowler. So that is one factor. The other factor is that he is a very, very keen learner, the observer of the game. He told us that, see, I know I'm not Bhuvnesh Kumar or somebody who can swing the ball and get the batsman caught behind or, you know, have them bowled, or I use my, you know, intelligence to, you know, flummox them with slower bouncer, faster bouncer, slower one, Yorker, and, you know, mixing up things. And yesterday we saw that how he used that slow, you know, bouncy bouncer to flummox the players. So that's how he gets his wicket. He is not one who will, you know, have 3 slips and 2 gullies and have you caught in the ring there. But he is more intelligent, you know, and especially in T20 where the batsman, the rival batsman is going to attack. So he reads their strategy, he reads their mind, and accordingly bowls, whether he has to bowl slower one, whether he wants to bowl faster one, or he has to bowl Yorker. So he studies all that, and luckily he has got only 4 overs to do that. So he does that very, very well. And means, like you said, it's very inconsistent game, T20. You cannot say one day you may go for 45, 50, and next day you may, you know, grab 3 wickets. But consistently he has performed very well. And hopefully this form continues not only in this Asia Cup, but also in the World Cup that is to follow in Australia. I think is going to be a handful in Australia, where you can have bouncy wickets and you can flummox the players with your variations. And of
Absolutely.
course, his batting is there, that is going to come handy, and fielding, and you say anything, and his attitude, his positive attitude, and
Yeah.
cheering up the own team and bringing down the rivals. That's going to really be the trump card for India
Yeah.
over the next few months.
Okay, let's also take a look at his IPL stats this year, because this is where it started. Many people questioning, why would you make Hardik Pandya the captain? He's not captain in any format before. In domestic cricket, he hasn't captained any team. Why would you then give him the leadership? But Gujarat Titans said, no, we are going to do that. And that's where you look at IPL's bowling stats and see that, again, for an all-rounder, and he was batting at 4, at times at 3, and that made a huge difference. Because even if you look at Hardik Pandya in Mumbai Indians, he would have never been able to bat up the order. And so in a way, this is a huge leap of faith that he himself must have taken. And to say that I can do it, of course, confidence playing a huge part in this. But in Mumbai Indians, he wouldn't have been able to do 1/4 of what he did in one season for Gujarat Titans, because he tried everything. He put himself out of the comfort zone, which not very often people do, but he did that. And not just with the bat, with the ball as well, bowled in power plays in the middle overs, batted up the order. The other thing, when the IPL was on, I got a chance to speak to some of the Gujarat Titan bowlers, and all of them were all praised for them. They said he's bowler's captain. He always listens to our plans, also very positive, and makes us feel very secure. So everybody had nice things to say about Hardik Pandya. You didn't have the same Hardik Pandya who you saw in that Coffee with Karan episode. It's a completely different person. And of course, I think a lot of this also has to do with personally what he's gone through. He's married now, he's a father, he's calmed down a bit. He himself has spoken about it. I was reading a wonderful article today by his childhood coach who's spoken about him, that what has changed in him. And he says that after that incident, when he flew back from Australia, he was provisionally suspended after the Coffee with Karan, he and KL Rahul. He flew back from Australia. He was sitting at home. He hadn't slept all night. He had sunglasses on. Jitinder Singh, who's his childhood coach, who went there, who was speaking to him. And he said, you will never hear anything negative about me from here on. This is the last of it. And he's made a huge effort in doing that. Because even yesterday, after India won, you win the match with a 6. There was no celebration in a very overt way. It was a very calm, okay, I did it. Confidence also meant that when Dinesh Karthik bowed to him, he was like, yeah, sure, I am a cool cat. I said in that article, but nothing overt, nothing extreme. That's incredible. It's amazing what he's become.
Absolutely. Actually, to tell you the truth, I expected Ravindra Jadeja to come out and be like him when he was named the captain, and Hardik Pandya to be how Jadeja flopped as a captain.
Yeah.
So it's totally the other way around. You never know inside what a person has inside.
Yeah.
Really, I had great hope and confidence in Jadeja that the responsibility will make him the all-rounder that we are expecting him to become. But I don't know, the load of captaincy just shattered him. Was it the overpowering, shadow of Dhoni that mattered here? The thing about Gujarat Titans gave him totally free hand. He didn't have anybody who was, overruling him or guiding over him. He wanted to take the new ball, okay, he was the captain. If he wanted to bat at number 3, okay, he was the captain. He wanted to bat at number 4, okay, he was the captain. So he had full freedom. And if he wanted to bat first in any condition, nobody was going to question him. So that, freedom that you have as a captain, as a leader, really gives you the confidence. And of course, you should have your talent and the confidence to take those decisions and carry that policy that you have, or some plan that you have made to, take it positively forward. So he has all that. He has shown that he has the capability to lead the team as a great leader that he can become in the future. So hopefully from here on, we will see him grow in stature. He has matured as a player, there is no doubt. Even Ravindra Jadeja as a player, as an all-rounder, he has matured. But far beyond is Hardik Pandya, who's matured really very, very fast in last few months. And they are the new, beacons of the Indian cricket who are going to rule over the next decade or so.
Absolutely.
That I had said so also when we saw them scoring off that brilliant win in Manchester, which along with Rishabh Pant to enable India to win that series 3-1 in that crucial last match. So there is no doubt that these youngsters who are coming up are going to be the stars of the next decade. And of course we have this fading stars, the top three that are debated in the Indian batting.
That's for another day. We are going to be talking about the top three as well, but that's for another day. Today we end this show with just this, the supreme confidence that these players today have in their abilities, be it Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant. They know they can go out there and just how deep they take the match and, still have this belief that they can get over the line. It's incredible what these players can do today, and Hardik Pandya right at the top with that confidence on that list. How good has he been for India? Hopefully this continues for Hardik Pandya, because this is really important for India with an eye on the T20 World Cup in October. But that's it. Thank you so much, Santosh Suri, for joining us here. And News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest. We'll be covering the Asia Cup throughout. And do write in the comment section below, what would you like us to do more? Let us know, if there are any questions for us, everything on that News9 Sports website. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.